What's going on out there, guys? It's your boy Tommy on the spot for Watch Along Wrestling. Hope everyone is doing really well out there. In this video, I'm going to talk about the swamp fight that took place between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, the main event of the horror show at WWE Extreme Rules, which just wrapped up a few hours ago. Now, I remember telling my family when we were watching WrestleMania 36, and everyone loved the Boneyard match, and then to the next night, everyone, at least was entertained by the Firefly Funhouse match. I said, this is going to be the new norm in WWE. They're going to keep doing these cinematic matches, and I can't say I necessarily blame them, because at least it presents something somewhat different than the usual types of matches. Some have been hits, some have been misses, but at least it's giving you something that gives you a break from the, at one point, no crowd, and now a much limited crowd filled with WWE Performance Center talent. So I understand why they're doing them, but at this point, I'll be completely honest with you, I am over them. I think that they're relatively entertaining to a certain degree, but it's just not wrestling. It's not why I tune into wrestling. Granted, I love character development. I love the storyline. I think Braun and Bray worked really hard at that. I think WWE did everything they could to present this as a really big deal going into it. You had the promo from Bray in the Firefly Funhouse earlier in the show. You had something of a video package kind of breaking down Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman's rivalry and everything kind of with their history in the middle of the show, and this led to the main event of the show. But it just didn't do it for me, and I think part of the reason why it didn't do it was because of the fact that half the people that I think could have made this really entertaining are no longer with the company. If you had cameos thrown in there with Luke Harper, with Matt Hardy, because remember, there was a lot in there with the boat. I thought that would have been a lot of fun if you had Matt Hardy show up. With Eric Rowan, who's the one guy that they could have brought in. He's not signed anywhere, at least not to the best of my knowledge. That they could have had some cameo from him, but without any of the cameos, I think it took away a little bit of the history between the two in Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. And I will say this was creepy as all hell. I don't even know how they necessarily did the deal where Braun Strowman shows up as old school Braun Strowman, as debuting Braun Strowman to beat up current day Braun Strowman. But I thought it was just it was too much. And again, it's something different. But I think when it's at the end of the show, it doesn't do enough for me. I know that was pretty much why this was called the horror show at Extreme Rules. So the entire show is built around this match. But I don't know. I just didn't really dig it. I will say I did like the Alexa Bliss cameo. Interesting to kind of see if she will continue in this character. I don't anticipate that she will, but interesting to see her there as Sister Abigail and kind of playing off that relationship between her and Braun Strowman. So I thought that was really cool. And I like that at the end of this, and after the little credit deal they do, which is at the bottom of the screen there, where they put the little like WWE credit or Up Next Undertaker or whatever, they put that up, and then they continued for a few extra minutes to at least reintroduce The Fiend. We've had too long of this Bray Wyatt not being The Fiend. He could now fully get back into the Fiend character and hopefully defeat Braun Strowman, at least to me, defeat Braun Strowman for the title and take back his title at SummerSlam, which I do think is where they're going to go with this. But I think my buddy Katema said it best. How do you, after all these attempts at murder, I mean, a guy was set on fire during this thing, how do you now kind of transition back to a traditional match between the two at SummerSlam? So, in any event, it was creepy. It was, the people who did it were incredibly talented, but if I never see another cinematic match again, hey, I'm good with it. In any event, guys, that's all I got for you. See you in the next video.